everybody. I cannot see the chat here on the screen in front of me, which is slightly sad. Wonder if maybe they can get it pulled up. Either way, we'll be joined by Stell momentarily. We have Artelind against meep here. I believe this is winners finals. Sheik Samus, known to be quite the struggle for Samus. Artelind, pretty old school. I'm sure he knows a trick, a thing or two in this matchup. Meep, pretty new school. I'm sure he knows how to body most mid-tiers with his character, especially Sheik being one who just generally feasts upon mid-tiers, as we all know. It's been quite the tournament. It is not losers top 8. You can disregard that at the bottom of the screen. This is winners finals, I believe. So, yeah, hope everyone has been enjoying this day of melee here in New England. Some upsets, some good sets, some just a little of everything. So, Sheik Samus, as far as exactly why it's tough, I know that the Sheik edgeguard on Samus is pretty good. I think the needles can be annoying because they can interfere with Samus's recovery. I think Samus finding kills on Sheik is pretty frustrating and tough. I'm sure there's some combos that will lead into a kill move, but part of my question is what Samus does when Sheik lands on stage with up B lag, because we all know some of the best characters have great options in that situation. I'm not exactly sure what Samus' best option is, but yeah, this is definitely kind of a battle of old school versus new school. And
oh, this is absolutely a battle of. I'm sorry, I also just got here. I got sidetracked in by Raventoli and Kikuho after they finished commentating because they wanted to talk to me after. But chat, we're here. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that kept my boy hanging for solo for a bit. But we're not too far in, but I absolutely agree. Artelind, someone I was talking to outside the venue for like 15 minutes earlier in between, and we were talking like 2004 tournaments, how like I found out he's actually related to Zoso as a cousin, so I found out a lot about Artelind lore before. I knew who he was. I met him before, but we like kind of caught up after like last time we talked. So yeah, and additionally, I'm sure you probably mentioned about meep. I'm trying to make up for last Arcadian, because famously was one of the top seeds last time and got third, but he
I think it was the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as we saw tonight, if you want to call it the curse of the 1 seed, I heard that language used tonight. It was Artie with the 1 seed, ended up getting double eliminated by Marth. That's a really tough matchup, but yeah, so I don't know exactly what seed these two were here tonight. I'm sure meep was probably pretty high, same with Artelind if I had to guess, but he has the lead here so far against meep in this struggle of a matchup.
Yeah, and he's making it work too. I was thinking about this before we got on, like Sheik Samus, like that's just historically always just been like, I feel like a really hard time for most Samus players, but someone like Artelind who has been around since really since like competitive melee started. He was totally starting with like Easy Chris's place, met a lot of people too.
Right.
Played a lot with Daz when he was around. He's played against this character for ages, seen this character evolve into what we see today. And always current day Sheik's like pushing the meta forward.
Right.
And it's nothing new, but obviously you gotta figure out what beeps. And Meep also has been playing a lot since like we last saw him. You know, he went to Riptide, I believe at least got 65th or 49th in that tournament. So has been playing pretty well outside of regions, but not being as active when I saw it in Research. But keeping it close, and yeah, I see what I've been seeing is like a lot of like reactionary stuff, a lot of grab game obviously being implemented, but Artelind kind of just standing his ground and gets that kill off the dash damage, which I thought was a weakling, but something gonna work.
Definitely utilizing the missiles, which you would expect on Stadium for sure. Utilizing crouch cancel, which you would expect as Samus for sure.
That's like, yeah, it's kind of like I was talking about it earlier with Silver. It's kind of just, it's very much like, it's like kind of like one of Samus's big things, like using crouch cancel. I just think it's fast fallers, but not the case here. It just gives you like so much like defensive play, and it kind of like makes you consider like a character usually is used to like popping people up, which like what Sheik likes to do with like forward tilt right here. When Samus is kind of below the 100 threshold because of the hard crouch cancel down smash, crouch cancel tilted, anything like that, crouch cancel F smash. But with stuff like needles coming into play here and just like tilts popping Artelind away, it's becoming much better for me to just like get some kind of fault. That should be it, and no so right there too.
Wave dash forward, down smash, connecting.
pop Sheik away, has Meep in the corner. I'm curious to see how Meep kind of counter gets wave dash forward, grab out the power shield, and to send Arnold to the corner. Now it's curious to how Arnold gets back, because obviously the Sheik holding stage is one of the scariest things sometimes.
Nice punish out of shield. Gets one there, lag. Up tilted to back here.
Good spot dodge on that. Was anticipating something right there, but didn't quite find it. Yeah, Meep just trying to like play around where Arlen's coming. Arlen just right there to cover and just intercepts him.
Looked like that shield poked too.
Yeah, that was a big moment because I think once like Sheik shield is kind of drained, that you leave some of the limbs open, it kind of leaves Arlen open, just kind of poke them just into the edge guard, which went well. And that's the first one. Going into the next one, going to the traditional counter pick battlefield. And now you have a top platform with Sheik. I'm kind of curious to see how Meep uses that, because you kind of want to like feel like just like work around what Arnold's controlling for space, and, very horizontally controlling center stage, whereas Meep not going to be run off fair, shoot a top platform if he needs to, and just kind of cover stuff from there.
Nice F tilt. Did not decide to grab the ledge. Looked like he was going to, but allowed Samus the freedom.
Shield blast. It's eating all the hits, still sending Samus back. There's that, just misses the needle, so I'm going to allow Arnold another shot. This could be a turnaround, maybe, but gets the tilt at like the apex of the hitbox. That actually might be a stock. No, not quite. That could be a reversal, but no, doesn't find it. More trading. Very back and forth. Super, super swingy. There's a reverse fair too. That's what we need, absolutely.
Good stuff. Artelind in a pretty bad spot there. Being able to capitalize.
It's down. It's the grab. So like like to use it down air, but he does slide off. That's good awareness from Artelind to be aware. If someone's going to come here, I need to slide down and counter it. It's still just being much more exchangey. And recovery comes out. Full hop down air.
Yeah, the percent so high that the dare was not really a good combo tool at that point.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking like maybe like a mid percent might lead to something else, but I think it's too high right there. It's not going to lead to much stack. Not quite, but no.
That seemed like an opportunity for Artelind to just steal the ledge. I don't know if Meep meant to go that far deep, but he can get punished for it.
Oh, he just misses the extender too, because I feel like he's been hitting that most today from what I've seen him trying to recover. Hasn't needed it too much when I saw it earlier, but it's interesting that you'd think he would get that, but no. That's also big for me, because he's just racking up a much bigger lead than like we really saw it all for either of these two in the last game. And yeah, he's gonna keep riding this. There's the needle by the ledge. Almost not getting thrown out.
Excellent needles to cover the recovery.
Patience too. That's there. You got Sheik such a good percent.
That's one thing I mentioned at the very beginning, is how the needles are annoying for Samus. It's a great projectile to sort of interfere with Samus' recovery.
Oh, and again the extender. That's twice he misses the sweet spot on that one. Not gonna get back. But yeah, the needles are gonna be a key factor a lot. It's kind of like the edge guarding tool from Samus. It's considering, like, we all know the way Samus recovers. Down B over and over constantly, kind of just goes on forever to a certain point. If you can interrupt that, then yeah, obviously it's going to disrupt things. I think Samus is left a lot harder. But it's a matter of getting back there. Everyone's just finding a way back too. Called out by the ledge. Gets the up air, not quite. Trying to close this game out for me, but Artelind's defense is trying to peek through right now, but that should. No, DI's away and gets away from the up air. Like a lot of like this.
All of this surviving, it feels like it's just further sort of, and I mean, there it goes. Maybe more downloading, a little more feeling out, because at that point it was very bleak for Artelind. Obviously, you're going to fight to the very end, but excellent use of the counter pick from me, looking good on Battlefield.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, Artelind probably had a match. Let me go to counter pick B here. I was thinking, yeah, it had to be either like a stage like this, because you have so much, you still have plats that move around a little bit, which make things harder for Sheik, or maybe you take away plats. Because without a top platform, we saw in the first game, it made Meep's defense game a lot harder to work with. Ooh, I saw a little bit of the up B usage right there, kind of like how they went upward. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, I like that.
A little slow going through that there that time.
Missed the needle. Just misses that one too. Yeah, he's like close gap like extenders are so on point that he's the way to punish for Meep. Eats the up B. Not quite of a fall, but as I was thinking about earlier, I was talking about with Silver, is like sometimes when characters get hit by the up B, they can still be actionable after, like they can just land and react. But someone like Sheik who doesn't fall as quickly doesn't really allow them to do that. Where if you're playing a fast faller, you can still kind of land on plat or land on stage. You can just wait for Samus to come down, but coming from the ledge, it's tricky.
Good stuff from Artelind. What? Wasn't quite ready for the air dodge there. I like to say it's always going to come out at some point. The Sheiks just don't want to deal consistently with getting punished in their up B lag. They're going to throw in the air dodge. It's tough to know when it's coming.
Exactly. Because like eventually, because you only do so much of the recovery, because you know you're being like just an up B. Sometimes it's guessing where they're going to land, but once you get an idea, it's like once you run out of tools, like I kind of have to throw out this air dodge eventually too. Like Samus got to be ready for it in some way, but she's turn around, try to get back.
Critical hit needle on that last stop. Catching Samus dead basically. I think she has no jump.
Has to up B. He just eats and just gets right back to the ledge guard too. So yeah, again, just eating the up B, just kind of resetting the situation as well. Just like keep this rinse and repeat cycle going. This could be potentially.
Not quite. One more from that spot. Okay, dodges the needles. Lands a fair, but then eats a fair.
Yeah, what I also like in this game is that compared to at least from what I saw the glimpses of the first game, it's just like Meep is also just doing a good job like positioning themselves too, so they aren't really for the most part getting like caught off by any Samus like counteractions or like getting hit by anything tilt-wise too. So some of this is here. Just defense is just being very well with spacing. Yeah, it's like being able to like just stick this up in the sweet spot and then leaves his edge guard again, which he's been really good with as well. Just like constantly being patient. Same with the ledge guards, the needles too, that he takes hard and just, yeah. Artelind's trying to struggle to find a way back compared to what we saw in the first game.
Yeah, I feel like there's been adaptation from Meep since that first game. And, I mean, Stadium does seem to be almost every Samus' favorite stage with some of those missile kind of tricks. Meep, though, dialed in after that one.
Yeah. It's kind of like, that could be like, you know, you're talking about the end of game 2 with the download fit, but that could have been what Meep needed for game 1. Considering, you know, I don't know if these two have played at all like in the past couple of years at least, but like, not really a matchup I feel like Meep gets to see, even like before, we hadn't seen him for a bit, but even like maybe he was at NGP pretty consistently, but, you know, just showing like, you know, what she can really do, and she's using the toolkit pretty well.
Right.
Kind of like having just a good sense of fundamentals and just knowing what to expect. Oh, and like, eating the up B and just turning around again on Artelind. That's kind of been the story I've been noticing since game 2. You see that? Because he shot a missile. I think that was probably a misinput. You definitely think you'd want to up B.
Yeah, it's gotta be. That's unfortunate.
Artelind opting for a lot of like these like either like full hop or short up airs, and they are kind of leading to diminishing returns, I feel like too. Because I know they're kind of yielding a lot in the first game and a little bit of game 2, so it kind of seems like they're not really like giving him as much return. And it's kind of leading to like either reretreating after the hit or just kind of like countering your crouch gets a low percent or just like taking the hit and just DIing away or something like that afterwards too. So I'm thinking about that. And Artelind's a lot of center stage games focused around that. Smash, yeah. I like the idea behind it, considering how far behind Sheik was, but doesn't quite get a follow on it.
One thing I noticed a couple times, hasn't happened now super recently, but just some shield grabs that Meep has been getting on Artelind, trying to either a tilt or smash attack. Meep just blocked it, wave dashed out of shield, grabbed him. Yeah.
And then the one time where he does it, he actually he jumps instead and gets punished for it too. So Arnold also is kind of preparing for like if they're gonna go for there's a down smash on shield as you just mentioned. There's a little bit of extra percent. Now it's turning into like 40 some odd percent off that one down smash. It just keeps growing too. And yeah, Meep in firm control.
It's just part of the struggle, I guess, because how like what do you do for neutral against Sheik as Samus? That's what you have is like some jab like we saw, smash attacks, tilts.
It's hard to really crowd cancel against Sheik considering what she's capable of too. So you just grab that just a free grab for Sheik, which can lead to tilts and all that stuff too. It can be really tricky. I've seen a lot of nairs coming out, and now he's got to change it up a little bit. We're seeing forward air come out a little bit more now as opposed to nair, but Meep just didn't fall for it at all there. It's really tricky. I was thinking, like I said, I was thinking about this before we got in here. It's just like I got to think about what Marley can really do. But Meep, I think went for something there, but just like fast fell past the ledge and just didn't grab it. He gets the tilt finally. 30%, not too bad, not too shabby.
Forward throw.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's something. Better than nothing.
Punishable Samus roll.
You're out of shield on the dash attack. Get that more punished, more traditional Sheik things you see. That won't be it, but there's one last ditch effort for Arnold to see if he can get back.
Using the needles super well there. A couple diagonal needles thrown and connected, leading to just being able to grab the ledge.
Yeah, like just a simple fact. It's like, because Arnold, I imagine, was going to either land on stage or go for ledge, but that cross-up needle just like prevented him, because he already used the up B, so he's just going to go down at this point, because the angle he goes at, it's not going to really take him that